Hello, this is Mike Burek, your host and the producer of On the Digital Frontier, a webcast series presented by the US-Ukraine Foundation that focuses on the people of Ukraine and their contributions to world technology innovation. Today, I'm pleased to say our guest is Volodymyr Bandura, who is the CEO of the Innolytics Group. And Volodymyr will be talking today about Ukrainian patents and how important they are in terms of intellectual property and the creative economy in Ukraine. Welcome, Volodymyr. How are you?
Thank you. Great. And thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. So to get started, can you tell us a little bit about the Innolytics Group? Are you the founder of this group?
Yes, I'm co-founder together with my father and my brother. So it's a family company. We have a lot of experience in development of new products. And as a part of this expertise, we created a team and trained it for years to research innovations based on patent data and scientific data, venture investment data, and open sources. We can dig very deeply into very specific technologies to develop new products. And not only we develop our own products, but we also support big corporations and small startups with our expertise to develop new products.
So then your focus is primarily patent information, correct?
Yes, patent information, and there is a reason for that. Because actually it will be a part of my presentation. Most of the innovations which are developed by corporations, you can find only in patents, especially if you're talking about the future products, not what you currently see on the market.
Okay, and how long have you been involved in this field? You mentioned to me earlier that Innolytics Group was founded in 2017?
Yes. Actually, if we are talking about IT projects, we did IT projects since 90s. So it's like I was rather young, but my father and my older brother, they were already doing some interesting stuff. For example, the system to judge the world championships of motocross. I mean, for timekeeping, yeah, and stuff like that. So this specific iteration, I think I would date it 10 years ago when we started like a new wave of our product and projects, mostly hardware projects. And to support these projects, we had to dig very deeply into technical information to create interesting stuff.
And is your company based in Kyiv?
Yes, actually, now it's mostly distributed. Currently, most of the staff is based in Ukraine. Yes, not only in Kyiv.
Okay. Well, with that introduction, Volodymyr, maybe you can start your presentation.
Absolutely. Well, let's start it. Okay, do you see on the presentation now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, this presentation will be dedicated to our recent report, which we did together with one of the top legal companies, DLA Piper, and with another Ukrainian company called Adventure Group. And DLA Piper is one of the top international legal companies. So I don't think I need to explain to anybody that the transformation of businesses, of cities, of countries is based on innovation. We've seen like hundreds of such examples, or maybe, I don't know, thousands in different fields in recent decades. It's not the first report which we do. We did multiple reports before that, mostly dedicated to exploring Ukrainian innovations, new inventions which Ukrainians developed, and their influence on the international innovations. So we did a report with 2 years ago with Singularity University, and it was presented in local and international media. And it was like a complex overview of what Ukrainians did in technology in the recent 10 years before that, since from 2007 till 2017. So as you all know, there is a visible market. And there is a part of the market which more or less every consumer, every marketing specialist can see. It is based on what you see in the stores. It is based on what you see in the exhibitions, in press releases, and so on. However, real competition is underground. And you can see it in tens of thousands of inventions in every imaginable technology field. And this information you can find only in patents. Sometimes you can find it also in scientific publications, but not always, because many corporations, they don't publish any papers, they just file for patents. And this is the only way you can see basically what they are doing and what they intend to do. So as an example, you remember in 2018, Apple, for the first time, they presented like a breakthrough function, which was ACG measurement. Actually, for the first time, you could do with a smartwatch full-scale, let's say, electrocardiogram, see the exact activity of your heart. However, if you are in this field, of course, this is extremely important for you. And if you look at the patents, they were patenting it at least 2 years before that. It's like very brief analysis we did. And they had already multiple patents on this subject. So based on the patent data, you can see what will happen next in the market, what needs of customers, big and extremely competent companies are trying to address, and how they see the future of the market. And basically in most of the fields, like 80–90% of technical data you can find only in patents. So, and why patent is an important source of data about innovations? Because it is based on very strict criteria. Every patented invention should be novel. It should be not obvious to experts in the field, and it should be practically applicable. So experts check if something can be applied and can make products or technologies, processes, whatever, better. And these are rather strict criteria. It's not easy to meet them. There is huge competition in every technology. And in a way, you can treat a patent as, let's say, the medal of the world champion in a specific discipline, in a specific technology, because you really need to outperform multiple competitors. And practically, if you ever worked with inventions and you try to patent your invention, it's very, very challenging. And on the other hand, patents are very convenient to explore innovation for the reason that they are very well structured. Across multiple countries, you have the same structure of the patent. You have its number, its title, the authors, the application dates, you have the descriptions of the inventions, you have very detailed classification of where this technology belongs to. So this is, for example, one of the classifications which you can use. It is called International Patent Classification. It includes over 70,000 of specific technologies, and you can search by each of these classes. And it's important for search and for evaluation. And you can also see the geography. So which which markets specific companies are targeting, where they want to go, and where they want to protect their inventions. And of course, patents by themselves as such, not only the technology, but also patents, they have their value because they give you the monopoly right to actually to use your technology. You can exclude competition. And based on this monopoly, you can get extra profit. So this is the trade-off, how the patents were introduced. You get the monopoly and you tell the world what is your invention about. So everybody is winning. And we evaluated the patents for this report, and I'll tell you how we did it. So we searched over 100 jurisdictions or 100 countries. We found 150,000 of patent families where you have an author or co-author from Ukraine, so Ukrainian citizen. Of them, 120,000 were registered only in Ukraine, and about 20,000 earlier in Russia, which we didn't consider for this report, and around 5,000 patents, they are registered in such countries as United States, European Union countries of the European Union, China, Korea, South Korea, India, and other countries. And these patents we evaluated using specialized algorithms and identified their monetary value. So together with our partners, we prepared this report. This report is open to the public. It is presented at our website. Michael, I think, can send in the comments the link to the report itself, and you can watch it for yourself and check all the data you are interested in. And this report, we put all this data in Power BI. So this report is interactive, and you can take any data you want from this report. So interactive means that, I hope you see my pointer. For example, in this page, general information, you can choose the company, the patents which are owned by companies, by individuals, by universities. You can choose specific companies, and if you press this Cypress Semiconductor, for example, then you will see all the patents which belong to these companies and which were patented together with Ukrainian inventors. Here you see Andriy from Ukraine, Oleg from Ukraine, Kremin Viktor from Ukraine, and so on. And you can see the specific patents and the specific values. And who is the owner of these patents? You can also see to which technology domains these inventions belong. So actually, you can find all the information you might be interested on this subject. We also showed the geography, what are the target markets, where these inventions were patented, and also we showed the areas to which these patents belong, like computer technology, measurement, digital communication, medical technology, biotechnology, mechanical engineering, and so on. So basically, you can filter the results by the specific technology domain, like you can check all the inventions related to computer technology. You can also filter them by specific inventor, like Kremin Viktor, who is #1, Andriy, and so on. And you can see as a result the patents which belong to this specific field and to this inventor, and to in which countries they were registered. You see, I, for example, took one of the inventors, Kremin Viktor, and we can see to which technology domains his inventions belong and what are these inventions, and also in which parts of the world they were mostly registered. We also added a number of patent landscapes, which give you let's say, a bird view of all this data set, of all these 100 patents. You can see the technology domains to which these patents belong, like measurement or telecommunications or digital telecommunications, and you can also see the companies which develop and own patents in these fields. So what are the conclusions? We see that Ukrainians, they work with Ukrainian researchers and dedicated R&D centers which are based in Ukraine, and where Ukrainian engineers work. These inventions are, let's say, ordered and used by the top international companies such as Google, Honeywell, Sony, General Electric, Samsung, DuPont, Parrot Technologies, and many others. These I am talking just only about top 100. And basically these companies, they mostly have dedicated R&D centers based in Ukraine. Some of them, they have hundreds of engineers here, like Samsung, for example, Parrot Technologies. And these are the main technology areas to which the inventions of top 100 patents by their value belong. The main is computer technology. 34 of 100 patents, they belong to this domain. Then to measurement, to different sensors, we have 16 inventions, medical technologies, digital communication, biotechnologies, and the others have less inventions. You can see in the interactive report every part. So what are the conclusions? I chose specifically this picture because some of the inventions which are related to top 100 and to the products of Ukrainian engineers are, for example, touch screens. And these touch screens, among others, they are used in Tesla car. So this product, which is used around the world, was developed in Ukraine. Or such things as, for example, USB Type-C ports, which are used globally in mobile phones. Never even thought, and you will never find out because there are very strict NDAs. And when, for example, we tried to invite some of the authors, some of the heroes of our rating to some events or to interviews, they didn't want to speak about their inventions because they have NDAs. So this report, it's a really unique opportunity to see what are the top products which were developed by Ukrainian engineers. And for some of the companies, for example, for Parrot Technologies, which is a big Taiwan company, and its market price is over $90 billion. Almost 1/3 of their inventions were developed in Ukraine. So their partnership with the R&D center in Ukraine is a strategic partnership, and it creates billions of value for them. So I think we have a lot of reasons to be proud with what our engineers accomplished, and I think we can discuss it further, and I would like to hear your questions. So thank you. I'm done with the presentation.
Great, Volodymyr. Let's go back to the two screens. If you can close out your presentation, I'll come back on video. There we go. Okay, very interesting presentation. I had no idea that Ukrainian engineers had filed so many patents that are used by major corporations throughout the world.
Yeah.
So in looking through this and in some of the initial reading that I did, it seems like the patents filed by Ukrainian engineers fall into three general areas: electronics, biotech, and chemicals. Is that correct?
Yes.
Why do you think it's only those three areas?
First of all, I think to get a bigger picture, you would need to see the report we did in 2018. Because in that report, we showed the areas to which all 5,000 patents filed abroad refer to. Here we are talking only about top 100 most valuable patents. We did another report in 2018 where we considered not the top patents, but we considered all 5,000 patents, and we showed to which areas they belong. So for the full picture, it's better to see both reports, because there are other areas of expertise which are not shown in this top 100 and which were shown in the bigger report. Okay, this is first comment. The most expensive and most valuable patents, they belong to these areas. It also reflects the value of the technologies themselves, because these technologies are really playing a major role in the world economy now. They are very important, and that is why they actually they make their way to top 100. So this is like two ways, but also it certainly reflects a certain demand in the research, because big corporations, they ask for such research, they ask for specific projects, and actually it's a two-way process, as you understand.
And how expensive is it for a Ukrainian engineer to file a patent?
These patents, which we're speaking about, these 5,000 patents, they were filed only in United States, only in Europe. I mean, they were not even filed in Ukraine. That's a unique report which we did. We searched 100 jurisdictions to find out that. So they cost the same money as for American engineer or for any other engineer. So basically, it's if you're filing it in United States, it's the same for everybody.
And how long does a patent last? Is there a freshness date on it, for example?
Yes. You can see in our report the dates when each of the patents was filed. It's easy to find out, and you can see this freshness, if you will. The patents usually last up to 20 years, their validity, and it takes usually 2 to 3 years for all the procedures for the patent to become, let's say, valid, from the application stage to published patent. So basically, most of the patents which we show in the report are active patents, and they were filed more or less in the last 10 years. Some of them earlier, but not many.
And also, you made reference to R&D centers in Ukraine.
Yes.
By Western companies. How and why do these get established? Do they follow these filings of patents, or is there some other rationale or method to it?
There are many ways how these centers are established. Generally, Ukraine is well known for its IT outsourcing. We have a lot of IT engineers, and there are multiple companies which order development of various technologies in Ukraine. For example, Volvo is ordering here machine vision for their autopilot projects. And I think all major corporations have partners or direct subsidiaries in Ukraine to develop their products. I think usually it's two-way. For example, number one author from our top 100, his name is Victor Kremin. Initially, he won the international competition, like Open Innovation Competition. It was many years ago, like I think 18 years ago, from Cyprus Semiconductor. And he was like two heads about the competition, about the global competition. And Cyprus was so impressed with his level of knowledge that they started to order research from him, started to order the solutions to specific challenges they had, new products. And so he grew. He had in the beginning, this R&D center had one room and like few engineers. Now they have the whole office building and they have like around 200 engineers. You understand that they developed enormously in the years. So there are different reasons why these R&D centers were created. On the other hand, for example, Samsung, they from the very beginning, they wanted to create big R&D center here. They took, I think, 20,000 square meters of office space in a big office tower, and they have hundreds of engineers there. I visited once their R&D center for, let's say, we cooperated on some research. You have very high security there. They like stick your phone. You cannot take out your phone. They close your camera, so you cannot take out anything out of there. You have security at the entrance. So all these R&D centers, they are very, very like low key, and it's very difficult to find any information on them.
So these R&D centers sound like a fantastic opportunity for Ukrainian engineers to do innovative work in the field, but also remain in Ukraine.
Absolutely, it is so, and it's a big benefit. And it's also a benefit for the engineers because the cost of living in Ukraine is far lower than you can go into any other country. If you compare it with the Silicon Valley, you can live like a king for the money you would spend only to rent an apartment. And it's a big benefit for them. There are people, you know, who work here, make good money being an engineer in such an R&D center or IT outsourcer, and then they go to another country. They make more in the number, but they say they cannot afford the lifestyle they had here. So it's a benefit for both the companies because they can cut costs, but it's also a benefit for people because they still get a high salary and they have a low cost of living.
So looking to the future, does Innolytics Group plan to have one of these reports every year, or is this a one-off?
I think we'll do updates. So far, we did a report every year. This big report I mentioned we did in 2018, which covers 10 years of innovation activity and all the patents, all the scientific publications in Web of Science and other stuff. Examples of startups is like 100-page report. Then we did last year the report top 100 but patents which were first filed in Ukraine and then in other countries. And now we did this report. And I think we'll make updates in the years to come to these reports.
Vladimir, we'll definitely include the links to both the 2018 report and the 2020 report
Yes,
in
welcome.
the description of the webcast so that our audience can take a look at these reports. And since they're interactive, they'll get a chance to actually go in there and play around with them.
Absolutely. And besides, again, coming back to your question, why people come to Ukraine? As I see, there is a big deficit, global deficit of high-profile engineers for R&D projects. So, and companies are really forced to find new opportunities, to go beyond their core markets, beyond their countries, to find opportunities to develop new projects because they just need more people to be competitive, and they need high-profile people. And as they can find such people in Ukraine, more and more R&D centers are opened.
Sounds like a great asset for the country.
Absolutely.
Vladimir, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Digital Frontier webcast today.
Thank you.
And this is Mike Burek, your host and producer of On the Digital Frontier, a webcast series presented by the US-Ukraine Foundation about the Ukrainian people and their contribution to world technology innovation. We'll be having another webcast again in April, so please join us then. Thanks so much. Take care.